Alright, we're live. Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. My name is Jones, and I am a 15-year Pokemon TCG player coming to you live through the powers of the internet. And tonight, we're going to be working with Venusaur. Going to try to get to the Arceus rank tonight. My mic just stopped. Okay, that was weird. Everything just kind of like closed out on me. Yep. There we go. Yeah, so that's a little bit better. Yeah, so anyways, that all got done streaming. But anyways, yeah, tonight we're doing Venusaur, ladies and gentlemen. Venusaur is one of my favorite Pokemon, so definitely want to try to do that. Let me get started here in a second. There we go. Now that I got Instagram going, now we're definitely cooking. So, yeah, doing Venusaur tonight. Gonna jump in on that. Try to play this a little bit more. Gonna keep playing some Grimmsnarl too. That's weird. I love how like everything is trying to like just all start at once. Alright, here we go. Probably playing against Lucario. So, there it goes. Yep, against Lucario. So like we found out last week, Lucario really... Like, I like going second with Lucario. I don't really necessarily care for going first. Like, if I know what I'm going against, then yeah, I like going first. Because like if there's a matchup where like Lucario, it benefits Lucario to go first, like Terra Box or something, then yeah. But like if I'm going blind into a matchup, I'd rather go second. But then again, at the same time too, you could very well be like, oh well, what about the mirror match, and what about, you know, if you know you're playing mirror. If I know I'm playing the mirror, I'm gonna go first. But at the same time, but at the same time too, like if I know that I'm going, like if it benefits me better to go second, I'll go second, because then you're able to get set up better, you're able to play a supporter, be able to see more cards. Like going first with this deck in blind, I feel like it's just not very advantageous for us. Alright, so they're gonna grab the Lucario, the full art Lucario, mind you. That thing's like $20 right now. There's the Max Belt, the Iono. I can't have nice things. Well, you know what? Lily and Secret Box, that's actually pretty nice, not gonna lie. So, we're gonna do that. let's just see if we can just rip this. Love that. Just right in Meganium right off the bat. This deck is so fun. I'm not gonna lie. And even if I don't get the Venusaur, I can just go straight into... man. I gotta hold on to that. I'll put that there. Go to that. And like, honestly, I'm just gonna keep bind down on it. Alright, that might be a problem. Yeah, and I don't want to give him... well, we might have to... I don't know. Let's see how this goes here. And also, too, you guys are in for a treat. Like, I'm actually streaming with color in the camera. Normally I play with black and white. So I figured, I was like, you know what, I'll just probably brush in a little color. So Fighting Gong. Looks like they got another one of the boys. There's a part of me that's almost tempted to go and grab Toadstool and just put the Toadstool down. So like anything that they... yeah. Yeah, I don't want to give him any more cards. Well, that just made things easier. You know, that wouldn't be so bad, like, if I actually had energy. So now I'm kind of at this point where I'm like, you know, I think I do just need to keep binding down. And these decks typically don't play any kind of like, well, I think they do play Turo. Turo Hariyama wouldn't be bad for him. Regigigas is dead in this match, so I don't really need it. And kind of like whatever they check down into, if they do, like, they don't really have anything that they can do. Yeah, they're just gonna keep passing. I need to double check Lana. Lana says putting through a combination of Pokemon that don't have rule box and basic energy cards from discard pile in the hand. It's like a safer Superior. The Superior gets kind of weird sometimes where, like, you know, you'll play it and then it's like, you'll play it down and then, like, alright, so what I think I'm gonna do with this is, like, when I go to an ad break, I'm gonna just not talk. So anything that, like I'll just pick back up, like, wherever I leave out to. take a huge, massive jungle dump. I guess now we'll just start the prize trade. I'm gonna love seeing if this guy... I'm gonna love seeing, like, if they can just stack everything with, like, the, let's see what they can do. Look at you. There's a part of me that's like going to just smack him. Alright, so there's the switch. Which makes no sense because he could have just retreated for free anyways. Lily's grab 8. That's cool. I think in a perfect situation, they probably just check down and like kill something on the bench. Oh, you can't do that. Toad Scroll. So the Toad Scroll's essentially just going to choke them and they're not going to be able to draw cards. So there's that. Imagine they're going to check down onto the... It either just... Wow, that was weird. I'm over here trying to... Go ahead and get another game started. Let's see what happens here. That was a weird game. It was almost like... I don't know how to feel about that first game. Like, honestly. this is kind of a weird start. I guess I'll start Toad's cool. And I'll see what happens. Alright, playing against Gardevoir. That's neat. Huh, these sleeves are also pretty neat too. I like those sleeves. What they got? So that's cool. Alright, so they go triple waltz into a psychic energy. That's a pretty decent start. I've got nothing. Guys, we got the live hand going. I think what I'm just gonna do is I'm just gonna boss this up. And then I don't need to overbench. So I'm just going to do that. I'm just going to boss that up and then try to make them spread their energy out. So whatever happens, happens here. I don't know what's going on. But anyways, if you just join me, I'm trying to test Venusaur and get into the Arceus rank, whether you're watching on Twitch, whether you're watching on Instagram, I appreciate it. Pony goes rare, Candy and a Gardevoir. So we're kind of really behind the 8-ball right now. They're going to go into Curlia. If they get a Psychic Energy on the Curlia, that's going to be rough. There's research into that. That's strong because I didn't do anything. It's a smart play. It's pretty neat though, like how the foil on that Curlia makes it look like almost as if it's like the fairy types. That's pretty neat in regards to that. So alright, so yeah, there's really nothing I can do with that. I'm just straight bricked. Just straight bricked. Get into the housing crisis with how many bricks was built off of that. It's crazy. Just straight crazy. But it's whatever. They're lagging anyways. So, whatever. I'll do that. Oh, wow, I'm still in the Eternatus rank, so that's not bad. I just hate how, like, bad this thing just lags at times. So, what is this guy's name? Oh, Sunrise. Can't stand this. So I've changed up the music and like I found out like a lot of the earlier Bill Murray albums are like royalty free. So like I can play them. Like I can play them on stream and not get like hit with and not get hit or get a strike or anything like on the channel. So that's pretty cool. And even like this song that's playing right now, this isn't, geez, another bad hand. At least I've got the Forest and Lily. But anyways, like I said, like, it's not too bad. Just to be able to like sit there and just play them all the way through. At least I got another Pokemon down. Yeah, so live giving us two really bad hands back to back. Not really sure how that's gonna play out, but that's what we're doing. So, oh, we're playing the mirror match. So, yeah, it's basically how it's playing out. Air balloon right into it. I mean, it's not bad. I don't hate it. Because essentially, like, if they get like a turn two Meganium, which will double that's the stadium. Because my wonderful internet's slow. Oh. It's my first turn, so I can't do anything. It's kind of weird though. It's like a weird catch-22 because it's like I don't want to like do this and then like player can't evolve basic Pokemon in the first turn. That was put in play this turn. I think I'm safer just keeping the Grand Tree down instead of doing that. There we go. We'll do that. Bug catcher. Alright. I need Ivy and I need Bayleaf. And I'm just gonna retreat the Fez. Now I just gotta sit here and hope to Bob Ross I don't get Iono'd. That's gonna be the big thing. So I hope that I don't get that. So he's able to do that. But it just seems like outside of that, there's really not a whole lot that my opponent's able to do. They're probably looking for boss, maybe. Definitely looking for a draw supporter. If we can get a knockout on this Teal Mask, that's going to be big. It's going to be really big if we can get a knockout on this Teal Mask next turn, which it seems like what they're going to commit to, is they're going to commit to the Teal Mask. Okay, Force the Vitality. There it goes. Well, so much for my... You know what, I'm fine. Like, honestly, I'm fine. Like, I'm not hurting. So... Yep, see? That is what I had a feeling they were going to do. Alright, so this is a trap. This is kind of a trap. That's dope. So we'll start with the flip. Because we pretty much have everything we need. Oh wow, that's beautiful. We whiff one. Well, you know what? I think this is fine. No, it's not fine. Okay, this is going to be interesting. See how this plays out. I'll leave that. So I ended up missing. So the other Chikorita's prized. Okay, I think we're fine. Yeah, we're fine. I can get that back with Lana. Wait, why did I grab bug catching set? That should have been... That was dumb. That was just absolutely dumb. But we're not hurting. We're able to get the... Able to get this off. Then the solar trance. Get this going. And then I'm going to get these two. And then what this is going to do is Jungle Dump's going to be able to knock out the Teal Mask. It'll take the energy off. I would have loved to have been able to get the Toad Scroll so that the energy couldn't come back and play, but it kind of is what it is at this point. So they're sitting there with like 3 cards in hand and a Venusaur with 1 energy. There's our other Chikorita, so we should be able to, although I kind of just, like, there's a part of me that wants to play Lana at this point. Alright, so now this is going to get interesting. Alright, so there's one. Need to make sure they don't get a Chikorita down. So they very well could get a Chikorita off of that. Yeah, they're 1 energy short. Oh, and they play Kangaskhan coming too. That's interesting, as along with Mew. As long as I'm not dumb, I pretty much think I can win this. The trick, though, and the thing that like we gotta be mindful of though here is if our opponent plays Wally, because what Wally will do is it'll heal all the damage off of our Mega Pokemon, and we don't want that. We definitely don't want that right now. And I'll tell you another thing we don't want is we don't want them getting energy back on the board. Alright, that's actually pretty good. Now this is extremely tempting. gotta get rid of Ogerpon. So that's where... Get rid of Ogerpon, yeah. We're good. Yeah, get rid of Ogerpon will limit them from... That'll limit them from being able to grab... Or not necessarily grab, but that'll limit them from being able to put 2 energy down, which is what we don't want. So... Well, they got the Chikorita, so this very well could make things pretty interesting, to say the least. There's the Bayleaf. Not to get Meganium, this is going to be hilarious. Run errands. Impressive. Okay, so they got Air Balloon. So either they don't have it, or they're trying to get ready to pivot something. Okay, they got it. So now we're going to watch our opponent flip coins, guys. That's not fun. I don't like this. Why would you do that to me? Stop. Alright. Okay. Oh, alright, so we live. We live. Okay, this is going to be hilarious. So what we're going to do is we're going to move all of our grass energy off of... So we go 60, 90, 120, 150, 180, 210, 240, 270. I'm gonna do that. If we had a Meganium, it would have been better. So we do this, do this. Yeah, it's 60, 90, 120. 150, 180, 210, 240, 270. Oh, maybe we do get there. Let's try it. I'm never sure on this math, but maybe we do get there. Maybe we don't. So that's 120. It's 150, 180, 210. I don't question it. I don't feel like that was right. I don't feel like that was right because it's like I had 6 energy, so essentially that's 30, or it's 60, 90, 120, 150, 180, 210, 60, 90, 120, 150, 180, 210, 2... Yeah, I don't feel like that was right. Weird. Win's a win. But again, this is why I'm an English teacher. Like, math is hard. And so we get another win there, other than the one brick. Alright, so about one more game away from playing... But one more game away and we get into the Arceus League, so, and then we'll be able to chase and run that up. Take a quick gander. There's nobody in the Instagram chat, which doesn't surprise me. So there's that. Gonna just keep going, keep grinding, keep getting better. But yeah, that was actually a really good touch on that deck. Absolutely nothing here. Well, they already know what we're playing anyway, so not that big of a deal. Alright, we're playing Hop deck. So this is something like, it's actually been really interesting to see this deck actually like popping up and people playing it again. So that's been cool to see. Alright, so we're opening with like just absolute trash. Not even a draw support. I don't want them to bump it with their Postwick. I'm gonna get every stadium I need for this match, just because their deck plays so many stadiums. Like that deck at least plays 3, and then if they're playing like the Donk version, they'll probably play like 4. So yeah, so we'll see. I'm gonna play tight, and then we've got the Lily's Determination for next turn, so I'll be able to see 8 cards there. Opponent plays Hop's Bag. They'll probably get a Zacian and a Cram. Yep, Zacian and Cram. Knew it. So there's that. Hop's Choice Band. That's gonna be Jet. Yep, Jet Energy Frostland. Oh, that's cool. So we play this version here. That Insta-Strike is tough. Yeah, 90 damage right off the bat right there. Yeah. You know, that would have been great if I actually had something set up with. We don't pull anything. What a surprise, ladies and gentlemen. What a surprise. So we're gonna just do this. Spread the love here. Try to get something going because we are just not drawing very well. Grass Energy wants to sit there and hang for a second. And then the other thing about it is too, this deck also has a metal resistance. I don't want to forfeit this match because again, like I think if I win this, I get in the Arceus rank, but just the way things are going right here, this is just so tedious at this point. Okay, this is... Alright, so it plays Zoroark. See? So it's going to be 60, 90, it's going to be 120 on the active, and then Chikorita's going to take another 30. Yeah, so we've got to evolve Chikorita this turn, and we've got to kill this Zacian. Alright. Get rid of that. Crazy. Appreciate it, Lily. Appreciate you coming through in the clutch, but I just can't draw anything. So it's like a two-shot. I was also hoping too that they don't have like a Postwick, because if we get Postwick, then they like knock it out. Speak it into existence. Jeez. Alright. It is what it is. At this point, there really ain't nothing we can do. So then the choice band's gonna go on the nest ball. There's the snow run. This is gonna be a problem. Alright, so I have my Turo. I'm just gonna have to be able to draw into it. Is what's gonna have to happen. So I'm gonna have to have Turo. You know, that'd have been cool to have earlier. Let's see what happens here. Yeah, these are pretty much dead. Energy retrieval. Dang, we lost 4 energy already? That's crazy. You know, that would have been great if I hadn't have, like, already thrown Toad Skull away. Well, would it? No, I don't think so. I don't think it would. I don't think it would have mattered. Well, that's unfortunate. We're not going to be able to one-shot it. Granted, this deck's not trying to one-shot anything. Alright, so game's tied. There's Chikorita. I think we end up having to, like, kind of what they do with this. Oh, I already know what they're gonna do. They're gonna bring this guy out, make me go to a weird prize trade. Alright, so we're not. So this is gonna get weird. And when I say it's gonna get weird, is we're gonna let them sit at 10 cards, and we're gonna have to check this down because it's gonna make Cramorant basically useless. Yeah. The other thing I can see them potentially doing is going to... Okay, so they don't have another Zacian. Zacian's in the prize. So that should be Rescue Stretcher, or Prime Catcher. It's gonna be that. Okay. They could go Bear, Jet, Energy. Yeah, as much as I want to try to keep it, I might just have to like swing into an awkward prize trade. Yeah, I think this is what I have to do. Okay. That's neat. Too bad I threw the other one away. No, I don't think I... Only way I would have done that is if I would have got that. Put that there. Yeah, I think just basically now what I have to do is I just have to like... do this, put him in a weird prize trade. Now we got a way to kill this. We know that they don't have another Zossie, and if they do, it either is in the hand off the knockout and it's at the bottom of the deck, or it's now kind of in a situation where, alright, there's a stretcher, so that's going to be Cram. See, there it is. Dark Energy, switch, alright. So this gets weird. Wow. Alright, now I know what to pick up with Turo. Keep the energy on the board. I'll just move it over there. Turo. Pick it up. This also prevents a bear play. Because now it's like assuming they have to have like something to like get it. Which they very well could have. My gut said they get the Fez. I'm gonna see if not listening to my gut paid off. So there's the flip the script. Now they go, alright. Not hurting too bad. That's honestly okay. Alright, yeah. Yeah, that's totally fine. Like, I'm okay with that. So it was very... Didn't look like it was going to be a very good game for us to begin. So... It didn't look like it was going to work out for us, but we definitely toughed it out and played it out, caught some breaks. But that early game was disgusting. Like, it looked like we were just going to get our face kicked in, but definitely caught some breaks and yeah, was able to do it. So there we go. And this is like, honestly, like, yeah, this deck gets stuck every once in a while, but like, this has genuinely been, like, it has been really fun just playing this deck. The only thing that I really, there's two things I wish, and I tweeted about this on Twitter, is that, the first one is that I really think that, like, Venusaur benefits the most from, like, a Pokemon communication reprint, because you see how many Pokemon are in there. Hey, we hit the Arceus. There we go, hit the Arceus. So Venusaur got us there, but as I was saying, I think Venusaur benefits from two things. I think first off, it benefits from a Pokemon communication reprint because of how many Pokemon that the deck plays, and that Pokemon communication is going to be able to not only better, the deck's going to get more mileage out of it because we're going to be able to put critical pieces that we need, whether it's a Meganium, whether it's a Bayleaf, whether it's a Venusaur, whether it's a Ivysaur, or just whatever, back in the deck to get the stuff that we need. So, like, if I need a Regigigas on the fly and all I have is, like, two Venusaur, like, I have a spare Venusaur EX that I'm not obviously going to play, I can sit there and do that and then not have to worry about trying to chase down a Stretcher or, you know, like a Stretcher or like a Lana to be able to get it back. So there's that. The other thing that I think it benefits from is, oh man, what was the other thing I was gonna say? Darn. But anyways, yes, Venusaur really benefits from, would benefit from a Pokemon communication reprint. I think that would absolutely help it 100%. It would be able to draw so much better. Well, it wouldn't necessarily draw so much better, but it just would be able to, like, you'd just be able to see more cards and play more conservative and not have to, like, really have to worry about throwing away all these critical pieces. So, yeah. There it is. So Venusaur got us into Arceus. Love that. So playing with the world's coin. Alright. It's pretty cool. Train your toolkit. I'll get Chikorita just because I don't know what they're playing. Palfin. Alright, this is actually going to be cool. The real question is, do they play the poison package? Nope. They don't. I love how, like, all their guys are conveniently electric weak. Well, that's great. Just absolutely great. Just gonna sit there and hold on to that. Not what I was looking for. Definitely not what I was looking for. So there's the Palafin. So the way this works is, once your turn, if it moves from the active, you may search your deck for a Palafin EX, switch it with this Pokemon. Da-da-da. So then now they get the new stadium that lets it retreat for free. So Surfing Beach. Once your turn, you can do that, and it'll switch it. So it'll switch this 0 to hero. And it doesn't count as a retreat either. Like, it's part of the ability. So then he attaches, retreats, brings up the Palafin. And then we get in a weird spot. Yep. There it is. Alright, so I've got a turn. But again, no supporters. Yeah. You know, now that I think about it, part of me of like the second point that I was trying to make, I was thinking like, there's times where I want to put rare candy in here. Or like a Badoo or something. Because like this deck doesn't really do anything. Another thing like Cleffa, I think Cleffa would be really good. Or like if I'm already playing like Toad School, like just play like one. Oh, thank you. Or like play like one Toad School EX. Like that would be just brilliant. Alright, let's see if we can survive a turn here. It's tough. Monk. Okay. I guess this becomes a Palafin. Okay, Ridgeband, that's cool. Yeah. And the other ones. Dang. That is unfortunate. And Fez's price too. Like I am just not catching any breaks. At least this game. Well, the problem is though too, like if they don't have if they don't get a Dunsparce, they're kind of cooked. And that's the same thing like here too. Like I don't have. Yeah. This is weird. Yeah, having Fez price is not good. I guess I'm just gonna have to keep eye on them just to make sure they like just don't draw out of this. Yeah. That's what it looks like it's gonna have to be. It just looks like it's gonna have to be a situation where like I just hope they just brick. Oh, they get Arvin. So that could be anything at this point. Yeah. myself 1 turn. Yeah, I'm gonna have to give myself 1 turn to be able to do something here. Building. Okay. Everything counts as 2. Alright, so now the climb begins. So what it's gonna have to start with is we want them to swing into Toad Scroll. Yeah. That is what I want them to do. And that's what it's gonna have to start with. Is it's gonna have to start with like missing a boss, and then it's gonna start with them missing a boss, and then it's gonna end up with a situation where they end up having to probably take a knockout with. End up having to take a knockout with like Ogre Pond. Just like a big Ogre Pond that can just blast. They could just blast their Palafin. So I just checked my phone, oddly enough, and it said that, like, I just had this, like, reminder from Instagram that apparently I'd been on a daily limit. It's like, when did I start getting, like, rationed on Instagram? I'm a grown adult. 2 hours and 11 minutes, that's crazy. There's a lot of really, like, funky dystopian stuff going on in the world right now. And a lot of people are not aware of it, but I'm not gonna get into that, at least on a Pokemon stream. So yeah, they're digging here. Also, it bothers me too that they're not playing the 70 HP Dunsparce. It's got a very clutch ability. Alright, so they don't have the other Palafin. It's either in their hand or it's in prizes. So like I said, this starts with us. This starts with us. Alright, so here's the first thing. So they swung in Toad's Cruel. And remember, now that we got Meganium, every grass energy counts as basically 2. So we have to put ourselves in a position here. Don't really worry about that. I don't really have a So we're gonna put ourselves in a position here where every energy counts as 2, and then we need to have enough recovery options coming off of this knockout that we can keep up the momentum. That was dumb. Alright, so right now that's 180. That's 240. So we're putting every energy we have on Ogerpon and just barely get over. So right there, 360. And we know that they don't have another Palafin. So we're hoping here that... So we're hoping here that they don't have a return kill. Which they'll be able to see, well, there you go. So they got that. So now that's like, now it gets weird because it's like, they're gonna go to 1. But it's like, I'm pretty sure if we can get on the other side of this next Palafin, we should be good. Or like, honestly, what I could do is I could just go and like try to trade blows with like Venusaur. Like that seems like realistically probably the smarter thing to do. And I'll keep an energy on Venusaur with EXP share. So yeah, they just drew into it. So that seems like what's probably gonna happen. Oh, and we get Iono'd. Perfect freaking storm. And again, our Pheasantipity is prized. So that's going to be great. So this is going to be so crazy. Oh my god. We'll be able to attack, but let's hope to God they don't have a boss. 9 cards. Yeah. Should have known. Should have known. But that's like the lesson though, like, sometimes you just can't dig yourself out of a hole. Like, we played it close. Had a rally. Could have secret boxed. But, yeah. Hmm. Change this up. So we'll do this. Like, honestly, now all I'm gonna do now is I'm just gonna go through and I'm just gonna look at grass Pokemon. Just go through and look at grass Pokemon. HP. Yeah, the Mega Evolution Bulbasaur and Ivysaur are better in every way. Some of these Pokemon's play through grass and fire. This 220 doesn't knock out Bulldanger. That is extremely disappointing. Although we probably might have to use... Celebi would actually be pretty good. Do a combination of grass Pokemon, stadium cards, reveal them, put them in your hand, shuffle your deck. That's actually really good to start the game. So Celebi's potential. Lofting heal, place from your hand to evolve. Heal all damage from your active grass Pokemon. If you healed anyway, discard all energy from that Pokemon. Changing seasons. You may search your deck for a stadium card, reveal it, put it in your hand, and shuffle your deck. That's actually pretty cool. Delmise. Put 2 Pokemon in discard pile of the hand. For doing damage, discard tools from your once active Pokemon. You can play Durant. You very well could play Durant. I could always play Krotzel. Could always play that. Just wall people out. None of these are there. 30 more for each. Yeah. Disappointing. Engine Energy, those guys were knocked out. That's 160. Already hitting stuff for weakness. Don't need Fan Rotom. Force Miasma. Turn Pokemon middle of this turn, its Pokemon is in the active spot. Put 1 damage count on your opponent's active Pokemon. Let's go worse. Froslass. I already know what Fortress does. This Sinistcha is actually pretty good. Up to 3 energy cards from Pokemon. Does 210. It's cute. We already know what Rabska does. It's a thought. They're just gonna like shores up our Dragapult matchup a little bit better. Shaman. I'd rather play Rabska. We got the new Shuckle. Anything that's like ability heal 30 from one of your Pokemon. 30 damage is big. You play this Pokemon Gram, evolve one of your Pokemon during your turn, heal all damage from one of your Pokemon. Two energy, hit for 150. Salvo. Choose one of your opponent's Pokemon 6 times. Each time you choose a Pokemon, do 20 damage. This damage isn't affected by weakness or resistance. Aroma Shot 160. Covers all special editions. Underwhelming. Regal Cheer. You may search your deck for up to 3 cards, put them in your hand, shuffle your deck. Man, see that's where that gets interesting. 'Cause that's like really good. And then you got Regal Cheer, attacks by your Pokemon do 20 more damage to your opponent's active. Only problem? You can't move the energies around, so it's like you'd have to literally play Energy Switch in Ogerpon. But then again too, like if you're grabbing 3 cards, it really isn't much of a problem. Pokemon can't be healed. Might play that in the mirror. Venusaur becomes prevalent. What do you do? With 60 damage for each fire energy attached to all of your opponent's Pokemon. Very niche. Thickest. Oh, I thought it said thickest. It's thicket body. 30 damage. That's only on him. Bulu's cool. 2 energy. It gets through Krutzel. Spidops does nothing. Ogerpon's not bad. Yeah, like I said, like we could play one of these. We just play one. 40 for each, and then all effects of attacks used by opponent's Pokemon done to all of your Pokemon have energy attached. So as long as everything's got like grass energy on it, Dragapult doesn't do anything to us. Obviously we play Big Woe. 61 of your opponent's bench Pokemon for each prize card your opponent's taken. That could be important. We want Mega. So I think the biggest problem we have is we don't have a way to close out games. And since we don't run Latias, like we don't want to play Bear. Like we want to keep this like as like tight as possible. 61 of your opponent's benched EX Pokemon. 60 damage means nothing these days. Full Freedom, Hunting Arrow. Yeah, it's just so tough. If we took out the Toadstool, I don't really know what to do with the trainer and supporter cards. Like that's about as tight as I can get. Yeah, I'm gonna play like a game with this, see what happens. impractical, but it is what it is. Yeah, I'm just gonna scoop that. Yeah, there ain't really nothing to do there. And that ELO just dropping. Just a dropping. And again, this is what I get for playing fringe decks on the outside. Take this out. Take this out. Like double Turo, maybe? Right, play that. I don't need that. I don't think there's a situation where I'd want to play Super Potion. Holly's cool, but I don't want to play that for my turn. I mean, if it all else fails, I just go... Jacqueline's dead. Faulkner's bad. What's Feldy? Go 40 from each of your Pokemon? It's not bad, but it ain't great either. I need energy recycling. Two Trails enough. Don't need Serrano. Don't need that. Like, I need to like see cards. That's the thing. I need to see cards. Don't need Arvin. I mean, I could just go with the safe bet and just play Air Balloon. Yeah, I think that's probably what I could do. So I could just do that and just try my best. If my thing will load. I'm gonna go Tails. Yeah. No. And here's the hoping we don't hit the mirror. So, nothing. It's gonna suck. Playing with jet energy too, which is interesting. Ooh, the Terra Box player in me is like salivating at that board. But we're not playing Terra Box. Don't need that. I don't think it's Celebi. It's crossing. Oh yeah, I jumped off of that one. This is still the Crustle one. I'll hold on to that. See if I can grab Level. Grab that. I want to go Ascension, and then I'm going to grab Crutzel. That'll give us a nice little wall to hide behind. Not only that, too, it'll be able to one-shot their charm. No, it won't one-shot their Charizards. The thing we're going to have to watch out for is Chi-Yu. Try to figure out where is that thing. Which actually, no, it doesn't even... There it is. That is what we were trying to watch out for, so... Doesn't knock out a Mega Venusaur, which is good. Knocks out a Teal Mask Ogerpon. Who else got that too? I'm gonna save that stretcher for later. I'll see 8 cards. Let me see this. This is actually pretty good. And I get like being able to like teal dance and use that to like draw cards, but sometimes it's just not efficient enough. So we'll do this. Hold on to that. So there we go. Yeah, it's like counter catcher goes live. There's really not a whole lot they can like knock out. I mean, they check down, they kill Meganium. I just attach the Crutzel and business as usual. I don't have room for Fez, so this goes on to Shiyu. Okay, so they're gonna go Charizard. So they either. Okay. Yeah, that could happen. They could evolve in the Dust War and then kill me that way. Yeah, I'm gonna have to watch out for that. But at least I'm keeping it like an even prize trade. That's the important thing to remember. Is being able to keep things like in an even prize trade. And that's no wonder I couldn't draw the other ones because it was prized. Maybe 3 boss and a counter catcher, or I do like I've done previous in my Charizard list. I do 2 boss, 2 counter catcher, and then they do this. And then I draw like that, so I am not complaining. So there's Pidgeot. That's gonna be a. It's definitely gonna be a counter catcher play there. And it really entirely depends like what their other 4 cards are. Like Candy, Dusknoir, and then Burning Darkness gets them there. And then I'm in a weird spot. I hate that I call this every dang time. Oh, man. I call it every time. So now I go to like this. Oh man. So now I gotta Iona this guy to 2. I gotta Iona this guy to 2 and then hope I grab an energy or something. Alright. That's cute. I know I got it. Well, this is why we got the stretchers. I have an attached return though, so that's important. still have Meganium in play, so that's gonna be big because then I can just attach and then knock out Charizard and then say beat me. So now they've got to have Candy, Zard, and a way to take 2 prizes. So, but then at the same time too, it's like, all right, Jones, now you have to finally take the cards. But I do. Oh, so I just have to survive the. Oh, we win. There we go. Unless they have counter catcher in hand. Jesus Christ. Man. Lost 2 close games. 2 close games. Now they gotta have counter catcher. Man, Jesus. That is just gross, and I hate it. Man, that's just literally like perfect situation every game. Like, we caught no breaks that game. And we drew well. And drew really well. Like, you just... Man. I called Candy Dusknoir, they had it. And then I called Candy Zard, Counter Catcher, and they had it. I think it just comes down, I gotta stop speaking this stuff into existence. Jeez, that's actually pretty favorable. Ceruledge. So we gotta keep a small board. was no way I'd be able to do that. Keep that in my hand. Ooh, I do not want to get greedy right now. Because, like, that would have made a lot of sense if I could have, like... Yeah, that makes a lot of sense. Like, if I can knock out a... That makes a lot of sense, like, if I can knock out something with Energy Switch on the first turn. But, since I didn't have Energy Switch, I'm not going to try to chase a single card that I can't necessarily go out and grab. However, what this creates, though, this does create a situation where, like, now I need to start taking knockouts. And granted, I didn't do due diligence to look and see what was in my prize cards. What I am going to have to do, though, is we're going to have to go Crispin Prime Catcher onto the Cerulege. Alright. Okay. I feel like that was a misplay. They had to have misplayed that. Like you don't punt that hard. Well, probably what they're also doing too is they're probably also playing thinking that I'm going to try to kill one of these guys. So, no. That should have been an Ultra Ball. Yeah, it should have been an Ultra Ball. So I'm not the only one punting. Alright, so I'm gonna make him play nothing. Yep. What we gotta do? Just don't give him anything. I'll play this misplay here. There we go. Take it. So I'm almost at that point too. I'm like, so I got a league challenge this Friday, and definitely I'm thinking about playing Raging Bolt. Because I feel like everybody and their sister will try to play some kind of like. Everybody and their sister will play some kind of mega. It'll be the first day that, like, megas are like introduced. So like, I'm thinking that, and then you're also banking on too, like, people may not have the new cards. It'll be late. So I don't know. I get to evolve first. So new owls won't. Owl won't. Oh, this is gonna be beautiful. And I'm going first. Like, we gonna be alright. But this is Gardevoir though, so. Only thing that would have been better is if I could have, like, somehow retreated. Not my cup of tea, but it is what it is. So I think the play is we go Noctowl, we go Ultra Ball. Because I'm going to be one card short anyways, no matter what. I'm going to be one card short no matter what. So, like, if there's a... Because then... But then the other... Then I guess maybe the other... Well, now that they've done... Well, they've got two of them now, so... There's a Stretcher. That's going to be a Researcher. It's going to be a Lilies. Discard card, draw two. They're hurting. They're hurting. Okay. It's a third Waltz. So I think maybe it's a situation where, like, I don't... Yeah, like, I shouldn't sweat it too much. Okay. This does kind of overexpose us a little. And it's assuming what that card is there. You know, there's a part of me that's just like, take out the Monkey Dory? Just so that way they don't have an ant. They can't confuse me. And then I just gotta figure out what that is. I just hope that I don't get counter catcher. I don't hate it. I don't love it either. So. Oh, that's what it is. Okay. Gross. Yeah, not having Area 0 is gonna hurt too. Oof. Secret box. They just get everything. You know, and it's and it's like this. It's like just how strong Lily's determination is. Like, it makes it almost like I can see why people would want to play Alakazam. Like, let me put it like that. Like, I could see why. Alright. I could see why, because it's like everybody's trying to chase like the high of like drawing Lily for 8. Alright. So now I'm in a weird spot. I'm in a very weird spot right now. It's actually not that bad. I think maybe the safer play would have just been use a Rotom. So I'm going to have stretched so far. Ooh. Okay. Yeah, I think this is just stupid. Like, nobody knows his stadium. Yeah. That's ridiculous. Yeah, it was just weird. I mean, that's already a bad enough matchup as it is. Yeah, I think I shouldn't have tried so hard to grab the Baby Bolt. I should have just used the Rotom with the boss I had in my hand and just took a prize that way. Because then I still would have had the bench space to be able that and the out to be able to get the... Yeah, I just overextended and got burnt. That's just all what came down to that. So... There's that. Got heads. Yeah, I'll just go first. Go blind. Do this since we're going first. So we gotta play like we're gonna get knocked out. This plays both Judge and Diona. It's like I knew it was gonna happen. Alright, we're good. Hold off on that. Let's get rid of a Dreepy. I feel like I heard this. Oh, it's the instrumental. That's why. Nice. Itchy Pollen knocking out. Okay. Plays there. I'm gonna be very impressed if they. That tells me something. Makes me instantly curious of like what it is that they're like trying to figure out. That'd have been neat if I could have played it. Also neat if I could have played it. least I know where all my owls are. So big deal. Yeah, so it's not a very favorable position right now. There's a 2 energy. Best case scenario, they go on the offensive. Yeah, they're gonna go on the offensive. They're gonna kill Dusclops. Imagine they'll put the 50 damage on the Hoot Hoot. Do that, do that. And then it's gonna force me to... It's gonna force me to have to blast them with Crispin. Okay, so they put it on Fez. That's interesting. I guess they just want to keep up the item lock, maybe? Okay, I'm very confused by that play, but... Alright. Yeah, so this will go there. Slide this over. Yeah, there's really no reason I need to like play that Ultra Ball. You could go Blood Moon. Kill me that way. And then I kind of just like kill him back. So you can kind of see that there. Cloak. think the only way they do this is bear. Unless they counter catch me and put me behind item lock and say beat me that way. Which then if I just do that, then I just like attach, retreat, burst, roar. C7 cards. Which is what it looks like they're gonna do. Bear. Oh. Dragon Bolt. So there is a possibility there's a neon upper in there somewhere. Alright. I don't know. Yeah. Alright. That's cool. Alright, so we basically have to like win this turn. So restart. Crispin gets us nowhere here. I need like a... Nope. Yeah, don't overthink it. Yeah, that's what I would do. Just don't overthink it. Teal Dance. And then just attach. Easy. Bolt's good. Bolt's still good. Even with Lily's new tricks, Bolt's still good. So, yep. So there we go. So there you have it, ladies and gentlemen. Raging Bolt, still good. Raging Bolt, still good. Even with that. Yeah, it's good. Venusaur got us there. Live Hands got us at this really low ELO. So there's that. Anyways, we're going to call that there, and we're going to call it a night there. Definitely good going off on a win. Tomorrow night, as usual, we will be streaming locals, be streaming my matches. That should start about 7:30, 8 o'clock. Same time, same place, you know where to find me. Also, another thing too that I didn't mention earlier in the stream is that I have recently started a Metafy. So if you're looking for coaching, looking for any last second ideas to bounce off for a League Cup or for Milwaukee, because I know there's already people over there,